It's happened again. I need to sort my life out. Every time I try and break out the chaos and recommend to you guys to keep yourself organised, the chaos just grabs me and pulls me back in. The shelving in the back of this shot that you can see is not fit for purpose. I knocked one of the posts the other day and all of the shelving started to lean to one side. It's already bowing, it was built out of cheap melamine and it is just awful, awful. So first thing was to cut down this 25mm thick ply that I got. It is absolutely battered, but from the reclamation yard it costs £5 a sheet and it's going to be more than good enough for my shelving. Each section of shelving will be 1200mm wide, because that's the width of the ply sheets, and they will have a depth of 460mm. I still feel like I'm at school working in centimetres. It's been a long time since I was at school. The project itself is not going to be complicated. I'm literally just running my track saw, best tool ever, down the middle of these boards, and then once I've got enough, I'm going to start assembling the shelving. Now, there is another reason why I want to redo the shelving. I actually want to have less shelving, but I'll show you that at the end of the video. You'll understand. So, I've got all of my shelving sheets cut to size. So easy with the track saw. Now, all I've got to do is attach them to some cheap framing timber I got from B&Q for £3 a length. It's on offer. I'm going to use some metal brackets. It's going to be easy. Should take an hour. But I've got to clear the shelves first and take them down. I've got to do it, haven't I? Okay. This is a good chance for me to explain what's happening here. There are 4 sections of shelving here and they are so badly built it is unbelievable. What worries me is the guy that built these shelves is the guy I bought the house from. It's also the guy that built the house I live in. Anyway, what am I doing? So the leftmost section that you can see with the bits of timber piled up against it and on it, I want that gone. All of those longer lengths I want to sit in that section so that I'm not tripping over them constantly. At the minute I can only go around one side of my workbench because it just imposes itself as it grows bigger. That's what she said. Anyway, that section goes. The other section I'm going to keep. I like the height of each section. I just don't dare stack boxes on top of each other because, as you can see, it's so bowed being made out of melamine, it's just not suitable. Those shelves are pretty much just going to be rebuilt exactly the same but out of stronger material and with a better design. I think it's a better design anyway. As you noticed by the title of this video, I really don't know how to build shelves. I didn't even watch a video myself. Just, what's the worst that could happen? 2 things. I've got a wood hoarding problem. And why have I kept that? Second thing, I've blocked myself in. And I've got to take all this down. I'd like to say the shelving came down surprisingly easy, but it wasn't a surprise to me. It came down easily because it was barely attached. I don't know how this thing had held up for so long. What he'd done is he'd laid sheets of melamine on top of cut lengths of timber and then just driven diagonal screws into each one. If one post got knocked or pulled out of that cheap melamine, the whole thing would have come crashing down. Unbelievable. Even I know better, and I don't know what I'm doing. While I've got your attention, please can I ask you to like and subscribe to this video. If you do, I promise I will get a new belt so you no longer have to look at my undercrackers. So I was going to take these battens off the wall as well. Not because I didn't like the height of the shelves, the height's actually perfect, I can reach on top without a ladder. I just assumed they would be put on in such a shoddy approach as the shelves were built. Those shelves, full length, should not have taken less than 10 minutes to take down. However, took a couple of these off and these have got massive wall anchors and huge great big screws. I'm not afraid that these are going to come down anytime soon. And if they are held at the back and I build something decent at the front, saves me a job. Now my plan for holding these shelves up is not just going to be using metal brackets. I'm actually going to use the trenching feature on the miter saw to cut some little notches into the vertical posts, then attach the brackets as well. It should be bomb-proof. One problem, my miter saw's over there, and look at the state of this place. Oh, my life. So here I'm using the brackets that are already on the wall to transfer a mark onto my vertical supports. I'm drawing the line and then I'm also marking it with an arrow going upwards. Where I've drawn that arrow, I'm going to trench a groove into there. Oh, there it is, caught it. That is 25mm high. That's going to support my shelves. The trenching feature on the miter saw has saved me so much time in the past, and I'm using it again here. All you do is make your cut, move it along a couple of mil, make another cut. Now you do need a sacrificial block behind it because of the saw being circular and, you know, otherwise you get like a U-groovy thing. With all of those cuts made, you just come along with the chisel, scrape up, clean it, and then you just test it. Make sure you've cut it wide enough for everything to fit. Remember, you're woodworking. Always make things a little too tight and then you can make them bigger if you need to. Assembling these shelves is easy. All I'm doing is I'm laying the shelf itself on the back batten, and then once it's held in place with a knee or a hand, I'm slotting it into that groove, and then coming along I'll put in the other post and then just make sure everything's square. To help keep everything in place while I work, I countersink a hole in the back for the 3 screws. I'm just putting one in each corner and one roughly in the middle. I didn't even measure it, just to hold that shelf to the back batten. Once that's done, you've got 2 options. You can either screw straight through those vertical supports into the plyboard itself, or you can use little metal L brackets. I went for the L brackets on this instance just because I thought they'd probably be stronger. You're going through the grain, through the laminated sheets of the ply. I don't know if it was the right thing to do. Like I said, I don't know what I'm doing. Despite not knowing what I was doing, or whether these shelves will actually hold anything that I put on them, this was a quick process. This section alone took me about 13 to 14 minutes. I've got 3 sections to build. The whole shelving unit, granted the battens were left on the wall, will take less than an hour to assemble, and they are bomb-proof. That's one set done. Just check the recording time. 14 minutes it took for this one set. I've obviously got 3 to do, and this is how confident I am. I'm on the shelf, which will be where I'll stay if my wife comes into the garage at this point. Oh, hi wife. What do you think?
Of what?
The shelves, I've redone them all.
They look exactly the same.
Why do you say these things? Despite what my wife says, this is not just like it was before. I am so happy with this. I've got a place for my wood that stops it coming out here so I can get around my workbench. These shelves are absolutely bomb-proof. You cannot move them at all. I've got unplaned timber stored up here, shorter lengths down here, random assortments here, plain timber down there that's ready to go. I've got space underneath that I'm just going to dump all the scrap wood ready for the next fire. I could not be happier with how this has turned out, and it's inspired me for more projects to keep myself organised. As you can see, it's pretty cold, but please like and subscribe, it means a lot to me. Thank you.